Now, during licensing, when you're a licensed entity, you have periodic, sometimes there are surprise visits like what you have spoken about. Sometimes most visits are scheduled. It just depends on the amount of notice that they give you. In my experience, I have seen where these audits are met with a lot of fever. CBN is coming, SEC is coming. But I know everybody is jittering around.
Yeah.
How can fintech stop that thing?
So there are different. All of these requirements, they become what the regulation hope to see. Now, it is one thing that license is given in terms of AIP. Approval, you are approved in principle. Now, before you even get to the point where you want to go for license, my recommendation is that we face that kind of challenge. In fact, it's not even about license, about an organization being able to do something, and you are not willing to do it. So our sales guys then, and probably you also, will tell us, but this company is able to do this. Usually when organizations come to us and say, then when they say they want to get a particular service, number one is transfer. I will tell them, we can't give you transfer because
so we move to audits now. A fintech starts transacting, right? Bright idea to save the world and save all the cash, and then you do the product, bring out the product, you start transacting. So what you said, start some internal compliance first of all, and then from there it moves to external compliance. And then you also navigate licensing if you're found out that you have to license. Now, during licensing, when you're a licensed entity, you have periodic, sometimes there are surprise visits like what you have spoken about. Sometimes most visits are scheduled. It just depends on the amount of notice that they give you. In my experience, I have seen where these audits are met with a lot of fever. CBN is coming, SEC is coming. But I know everybody is jittering around. How can fintech stop that thing?
So there are different. There are different types of audits, right? So there's first party, second party, third party, right? First party is the one you do in your house. You, by yourself, you set a process in place to check what has been done. Remember, audit is an after effect, is an after matter. Things have happened, but at least you want to be sure that things that have happened correctly. So it is a part of the governance process of organization to have an audit process in place, right? The second one is second party audit, which is you and your contractor or your supplier, you now have an agreement. So party A and party B, A is bigger, we'll go and audit B. The third one, which is a third party audit, is that a regulator or a certification authority is coming to check your system. How can you prepare? Again, I go back to process, right? Audit is coming to check that you have done things correctly. First, you have done it according to your documents. Second, you have done it according to the regulatory expectation or business expectation. Those are the two. That's what they are coming to check. And third, they are coming whether you have done it correctly, because sometimes there's no rule that says you must do it this way. So you need to take water from point A to point B. Regulation did not say how you should carry it, but you have decided to carry your own water in a spoon. But the auditor can tell you, why don't you use a cup and all of those things? So those ones are just maybe to improve you. But the primary thing is what you say you will do and what regulator says you should do. Make sure that those processes are documented. Now, have your own internal mechanism of checking that those things are done. And that's why in our organization then, we had a compliance team that conducts quarterly evaluation. In fact, based on our risk assessment, we determined that this team has a high risk. We can lose our business because of this department. Therefore, we will audit them every quarter. Now, that compliance check using the rule book helps us to know what we need to go and check in each team. Now, that compliance evaluation happens every quarter, and that helps the business to get used to how what regulator is coming to do. If you have been doing internal audits, right, if you have been doing those things, what regulator is coming to do will not be totally strange, because they are the same auditor, they have the same mindset, so they can actually prepare you to fulfill that. So, but if you don't have process, you don't have risk managers, you don't have auditors, you will fail regulators audits. It's not a course. It is almost automatic. So those are if you do the basic things in-house, you are likely to pass any regulatory audit.
Awesome.